Hi everyone, this is Tara Keffer of The Business of Balance, the place where women and especially moms come to find more balanced, joyful, and fulfilled lives through life and career coaching, yoga, and essential oils. So this week's video is a little bit late, but I was waiting a couple days to announce our May book club book and May theme, which I'm really excited about this month. And so the book I'm going to be reading, and anybody who wants to join me, is called The Top 5 Regrets of the Dying, A Life Transformed by the Dearly Departed. And it's by Bronnie Ware. And I first heard about this book from Marie Forleo, who is an amazing life coach and one of my idols, basically, and I love following her. And she interviewed the author a few weeks ago, and it just sounded super interesting. And I think as a life coach, when you're helping people decide what they want to do with their lives and make big decisions, sometimes you have to think really big picture, and you have to think all the way until basically when you're dying and you're looking back on your life and the choices you made, and what are you going to think at that point, and what regrets are you going to have, and what are you going to be happy about, and what are you going to cherish. So I'm really excited to read this book. The author worked with, she was a nurse who worked with people who were dying for many years, and she realized after a while that she kind of heard the same things over and over from these people, and it really impacted her. And so she put the lessons basically that she learned from these dying people into a blog, and then eventually that became really popular. It became a book, and I'm really excited to read it this month. And so our theme in May is making it count. And basically that could be however you want to interpret it, but the gist is, just kind of making each day and making life count, because each day really is truly a gift. And so I just have a little challenge today, and I want to challenge everybody watching this to just take some time to think about, if you found out today that you had 1 month to live. I just went to the doctor today, actually, and luckily everything seems good, everything checks out, and I think I'm healthy. But just imagine for a minute that you went to the doctor and they told you you had a month. What would you do with that time? What would you do differently than what you're going to do this month anyway, what your plans are? And what would you regret that you hadn't done already? And then, so take a few minutes to at least think about that, and maybe even journal about it and write it down. And then also think about or write down what from those answers can you incorporate in your life now while being realistic. So obviously, this is just hypothetical, so you're not going to go out and blow all your money and take a trip around the world, right? But maybe you start putting some money away for a big trip you want. Maybe you schedule it, and you put a plan into action to actually make a trip you've really been wanting to take happen. If you're in a commission-based job, maybe you just motivate to bring in the extra money to make something like that happen. So being realistic, what elements from those answers can you bring into your life now? So I know, like for me personally, when I think about this, the first thing that pops into my mind is I would spend more time with my husband and put a little more time into my marriage, because although my marriage is good, it just always kind of comes last. I feel like these days with 3 kids, and especially right now with a newborn, and I just always think, well, I'll have time later to, focus more on my husband, focus more on my marriage. So if later never came, I would really have a lot of regret. So what that tells me is I need to focus more on it right now and not wait. And I need to, get back into a monthly date night and just find those ways to do some special things for my husband and, just put a little more effort in. And the other thing that comes to mind for me is travel. And so I personally would think about some ways that I can incorporate some more travel into our lives. And obviously, it's not easy by any means now as a family of five, not only financially, but just logistically as well. But I think, simple things like not being afraid to go on a camping trip with 3 kids. Obviously not right now with a newborn, but before too long. And it might seem like a lot of work and getting out of routines and stuff, but in the long run, I think those memories and that experience would be worth it. So even if it's just small trips like that to start. And the other thing that comes to mind for me is that because I'm so focused on my own family living in my house, because I have to be, and just that in itself is so overwhelming sometimes right now, that I feel like my extended family sometimes, falls by the wayside a little bit, and I should really be better at returning phone calls from family and friends, and just reaching out to those people that I really care about and are closest to me, just second to the people that live in my own house, and be better about really just being involved in their lives and interested in what's going on and talking to them more and just doing more to reach out and show them that I really do love them and I really do care, because I do, but sometimes I feel like it comes across. Maybe I don't, because I'm just very involved in my immediate family, as I have to be right now, but I would find more ways to reach out to extended family and close friends. So I would love to hear in the comments what you would do differently after this exercise, because really, and this is another Marie Forleo quote, is that time is our most precious resource, and once it's spent, we can never get it back. So money is a precious resource too, but we can plan money a little bit better. We know how much, at least right now, we have to work with. We could forecast, at least to some degree, how much we might have coming in, and we could kind of manage it a little bit better. Time, we really have no idea how much we have in store for us. So it really is even way more precious than money. And so really be picky about how you spend your time, and say no to the things that you don't really want to do and don't want to spend your time doing. So if you always get roped into helping with activities at your kid's school that you're not really interested in, say no. You don't have to say yes to everything, and be a little bit more particular about how you spend your time. Also, something I was thinking about a lot today is so when I was in my life coach training, a thing that kept coming up for me, because we kind of coach each other, is that I always have this thing, and it's part of my perfectionism and just the way I am, where I feel like I have to be so thorough about everything, to the point where if I read a magazine, I have to read it cover to cover. And it's just like, I feel like I have to do it all, even something simple that should be relaxing and enjoyable, like a magazine. And so I've made it a point, finally, a year later, after having this discovery, to start purposely, when I pick up a magazine, to find the articles that I want to read, or, you know, whatever in it that I want to read, and just read those and give myself permission to skip over the rest, because I'm wasting time otherwise, that I could be doing a much more enjoyable things by making myself read the whole thing when I'm not that interested. So that's just something so simple, but is a big relief to me. Or to give myself permission to delete emails that I don't really want to read. I don't have to make myself read every single email. It's like I kill myself sometimes on these stupid things that take up a lot of my precious resource, which is my time. So I'm definitely going to be more conscious about that kind of stuff this month too. Um, and and just remember, last point, that life is a lot more about it's less about what actually happens to us and the circumstances in our lives, and it's more about how we react to those circumstances, no matter what they are. And really, life is too short to waste time being angry, holding grudges, and that kind of thing. And it's just much better to let those frustrations go and just make the most of whatever you're working with, and just really be as happy as you could be. And so I would love to hear also in the comments what you plan to do to really make it count in May, and use better use of your precious resource that is time, things that you're going to stop doing to make the most of that time, and just how you're really going to make it count, and let go of the bad and just focus on the good. And another thing I wanted to mention too is I've been working very slowly, but working on decluttering my house a little bit, and I'm committed also to eventually just being surrounded by things that bring me joy and make me happy, and not crap that doesn't. So that's another way that you can make it count in May, and really make the best out of what you have, and leave the rest that doesn't suit you or serve you. So so that's it for this week. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. If you like this video, I would be very grateful if you would share it with your friends. And as always, feel free to reach out to me by email at Tara, T-A-R-A, at thebusinessofbalance.com if you have questions or comments about this video, my business, or my coaching. And I will be back with another video on Friday. Have a great week.